Here's the reason I don't get too concerned about what silver is doing on the stock market and what the spot is today, or, I can't completely divorce myself from it. But personally, when I'm pricing things and I'm buying and I'm selling, I'm trying my best not to even pay attention to it. And here's the reason why for that. But first, I want to show everyone my website, portsmouthcoinshop.com. I have a lot of coins for sale on the website here. A lot of raw coins and graded coins and Morgan dollars. I'm trying to stay with fair pricing here. It's very difficult to obtain some of these coins anymore. The demand is really high. Demand outstrips everything anymore. So if you get a chance, check out portsmouthcoinshop.com. So I visit Kitco every day, multiple times. I'm always checking out the current spot just to see what silver's doing. And right now it's at 25.77. When I say it'll come back down, silver will come back down in my previous videos, I don't mean that it's going to go right back down to nothing or way down. I don't know. But I do know that when it goes up to 30, 40, and close to $50 an ounce, as it did in 2011, close. And, recently, almost $30 or $30 an ounce, it typically does come back down. Okay, that doesn't mean long term it won't go up, but as far as people saying it's going to go to the moon, or $100 an ounce, or $200 an ounce, or 500 or whatever, or it's going to meet some gold ratio, some ratio to gold, I don't agree. Maybe over time it will, but not immediately. People think, and they read all these articles here, and I do the same thing. I mean, when it comes down, they got an explanation for it. When it goes up, they got an explanation for it. And they're not always right completely. And the market is kind of, manipulated and played with. But myself, I don't worry about it, because when you look at the charts, when I look at charts, I look at yearly charts and 10-year charts. And here's their year chart. When I'm looking at pretty much the medium here, if you go all the way across the last year, besides the $18 an ounce that was last June, we all know it was down a little bit. COVID had affected things, and that's where it was at. But when it jumped lately, let's say for the last year's time, you can see that it was pretty much within that, that median. This median right across here in the 26. I mean, you had some spikes up, you had some spikes down. Right now, we're up and down. And that's to be expected. But you're looking at the chart, it's almost like looking at a coin under a microscope. You're looking at it too close. You're wanting to look at this as long term. You don't want to look at it day to day and try to base everything you do off of it day to day. Don't get me wrong. If silver goes down and you run over to JM Bullion or SD Bullion and you buy a little more, or you're actually into the ETFs and the futures and you're doing that, that's fine. I'm not saying anything about people who do that. I'm not saying you don't do that. I'm trying to talk about people who are just stacking a little bit, throwing some silver back. They see it drop and are like, oh boy, here we go again. No, look at it long term. Don't take the microscope if you're not into the actual, on the stock market, and you're not, a heavy hitter or whatever. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Don't panic. Don't worry about it too much. And there's other things to look at too, which is a 10-year chart. And this really brings perspective up, because we have to go all the way back, and we're in 2002, and you can see basically where in 2002 silver was at. It's $5 an ounce, $4 an ounce. I remember selling it 3 and 4 to 1 back when I first started selling on eBay. Silver was, pretty low. But look where we've come in all that time. Look how far it's came. Literally, with technology and, more people buying into it and a lot of different things going on in the world, we actually had this spike here, which is kind of an unnatural spike, showing over 45 an ounce. And then it came immediately back down. It didn't stay up there very long. But without the spikes, I mean, when you look at this, we've having recently a spike, but it's not really reflecting the actual demand, the supply and the demand that we're having right now, which is a really great demand that we're having in this hobby. And I call it the hobby, even though you can do investing in this. To me, we're talking about the hobby aspect of it. But it's really cool to look at these charts and see where silver has increased when it comes to the value. I forget. I mean, sometimes I don't even think about how low this is. I mean, literally how low silver was. And I remember, and you can go back 20 years, 30 years. I remember whenever I was 11, 12 years old, and, silver was way up there in the Hunts Brothers. All you heard about, and then how it dropped down. You have those times, and those times are people who live through that, and they live through this spike here. It's scary. It is. It's a little scary to think that, man, look at this. What if I bought here at this peak? So really what you want to do today, you want to try to buy it when it's down like this. You're going to get a little bit cheaper. Maybe you'll feel better when it spikes back up. Maybe you won't. But over time, if this right here, if 20 years ago it was $4 and $5 an ounce, and 20 years later, we're averaging in the 20 some dollar range. Maybe 20 years down the road it'll be averaging in the 30 or 40. Who knows? But that's a natural a progression, and that's what we want in this market. Hopefully that's what it gets to. That's why people call it inflation and all. But that's why I'm not worried. That's why I don't sit and worry about it too much. I don't run in there and think, oh my gosh, I got to do this, I got to do that. This is dropped again on me. It's down $2 from 2 weeks ago or whatever, or 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. I think it was at 27, 28, or pretty close in there. And even with a 20, close to 29 or something like that, I think it was. But anyways, maybe that helps put things in perspective a little bit when it comes to the silver market, at least what I think up here. And remember, this is my opinion. This is how I feel and how I think and how I run my business and how I do my things. It may not apply for you. It may not help you. It may not be the way you think, and that's fine. So anyways, thanks for watching my latest video. Please hit the sub button and have a great day.